Thank you. Please be seated. It was a little emotional to hear that last song. Made me think of the great and late Re Khumulemo Motsoaledi. May his soul rest in peace. Good morning. Good morning. Great. Director of Ceremonies, P.S. Koa and your colleagues, the Botswana Chamber of Mines, women in mining, ladies and gentlemen, partners in the development of the Botswana economy, but in particular, the mining and energy sectors. Ke le dumedisa ka pula. Pula. You know, last week we were in Las Vegas, and I understand that they pump a little substance in the air, and Paul and his colleagues were given like the greatest showman display, and they were moving all over the stage. So I was a little surprised to see him standing by the podium and not giving us the display that he gave last week. But I believe it was the steroids in the air that they pump for the casinos. So I'm sort of hoping that they would do the same today, because the room is so dark and I can't even see who I'm talking to. But I understand it's to set a certain mood, but I'm not sure it's relevant for... Nonetheless, I am deeply honored and pleased to be here with you today in order for us all to chat a new path and discover and discuss the opportunities that exist in the mining sector, and to really look at the future of mining through this particular summit. Let me start off, of course, by recognizing and thanking our organizers and our conveners who last year made a big and bold decision to hold this Future of Mining Summit. And as they have said to us, it has since grown in leaps and bounds. And just by judging by the attendance today, we think certainly that it is worth the investment of the Ministry of Government and our partners to continue partnering with Projects Magazine to ensuring that the summit gets bigger and bigger every year. The caliber of speakers and delegates is a clear indication that this summit is answering a very critical call within the industry, the need for dialogue, for networking, for thought leadership, for collaboration, and for a shared vision in the development of Botswana. Through the Ministry of Minerals and Energy, we are proud to have endorsed this initiative. We want to see this platform grow and to evolve into one of the most influential mining conferences, not just in Africa, but across the world. During the mining endeavor earlier this year, the gentlemen that run Projects Magazine made a pronouncement that they hope that next year they would have attracted a much more diverse crowd that is similar to that seen at the mining endeavor in Cape Town. And to that, I wish them well, I wish them luck, and continue, and assure them of our continued support. We got I think. As we know, by all accounts, Botswana is a mining economy. Mining sector, the sector remains the backbone of our economic structure. And for decades, diamonds have been the jewel in our crown. And the reputation that we have built in this industry truly precedes us. And it's in how we have built mineral wealth, in how we have built ethical mining standards and practices, in how we have prudently used our natural resources for the development of the country, and a strong tradition of governance and transparency. And for this, we are continuously rated as one of the best mining investment destinations in the world. There's absolutely no reason why the world should not converge here. Here in Botswana, not only in Gaborone, but to take part in shaping the future of mining in Botswana and around the world. We must use this credibility to build, to lead the global conversation in the mining sector's next chapter. But this cannot happen in isolation. It requires a collective effort of both government, the private sector, business associations, and other key stakeholders working together hand in hand, others moving further and faster than some. And in this regard, I'm of course speaking at dealing with some of the bureaucracies that we face in government and need some stewardship from the private sector for us to move a little faster. The theme for this year being new opportunities and smart partnerships could not have been more appropriate. Yes, we are facing challenges, especially as the global diamond industry experiences some downturns. But even in the face of adversity, there are abundant opportunities that are waiting to be unlocked. Opportunities not only in the diamond sector, but also far and beyond in base metals, rare earth, amongst others. And we believe that with the work that we've put into this sector, we will see a rebounding and strong growth in this sector in the next couple of years. But we know, of course, that there is an elephant in the room. But I know that there'll be several conversations around the diamond industry, and we have championed and really put our hand up as Botswana to provide strong leadership in the diamond industry and in leading back the demand that is needed in this industry so that, of course, we can continue to finance our economy. Our trek in Las Vegas and in the US last week was not just the beginning, but it was a continuation of our efforts to ensure that this diamond industry bounces back and builds back stronger. And as Paul Rowley has already stated, we are working strongly on differentiation between our natural diamonds and synthetics. We are working to ensure that we are defending the industry and we are championing the natural diamond industry. And that is why next week, or towards the end of this week, we will be meeting with other African natural diamond producers to really discuss the strategies around category marketing and consumer education. But we have spent a lot of time talking about the strategies that we are implementing to ensure that this industry comes back. In January, we were confident that by July we would have seen a strong bounce back of this industry, but we've had a few stumbling blocks in April with the tariffs, and then a few wars here and there, and these have posed real challenges to the industry coming back. But there are still buds, green buds of growth that give us hope that by the end of the year and into 2026, the economy will regain its buoyancy. But as I have said, there will be several other speakers that will talk about the diamond industry. Botswana will explain themselves on the way that we're working on cost efficiency, on how we ensure that the business can withstand the downturn and come back bigger and stronger. And I know that Paul just spoke about our partnership with De Beers, and throughout this entire conference, diamond remains, of course, a central and a key part, since our biggest mines in this economy are diamond-led. And any shift in this space really affects the entire industry. But we shouldn't forget that we have a lot more that is happening in the mineral space. So while diamonds themselves are being challenged, we should look at the positivity that we're seeing elsewhere. And I'd like to bring to your attention, of course, the sale and reopening of Tati Nickel Mine that we announced earlier this year. And I know we should have reopened it officially by mid of June 2025, but the president was unavailable. Now we stand to continue with the plans to officially reopen this mine. And we expect for it to employ 500 plus people and to inject into the economy over $1 billion in the next couple of years. And we shouldn't forget about the progress that has been made in Silibe Pikwe through the shafts that were sold to PNR, that they have embarked on an exploration program in Silibe and Silibe North shafts, and they have reported positive results from that drilling program, and we know that there have been new investments that have been injected into PNR Botswana. Further to that, the Menzi Battery Metals project has also yielded positive results. We saw last week, I believe, or 2 weeks ago, they announced that they made their first shipment of battery grades from the project here in Botswana, where they are mining in Kanye village. Now, this company is driven by the ever-growing electric vehicle market, and we are glad that the Menzi Battery Metals has recently been granted the mining license to mine manganese in Kakwe Hill near Kanye village. And that what they are doing in this space is well going to position Botswana in the green transformation spaces. Further, Moteo Copper Mine. Tsukudu Metals Botswana and MOD Resources are 100% owned subsidiaries of Sandfire Resources. And we know that by the end of 2024, we gave them permission to expand a lot further. And we are anticipating that they will increase of head of feed and their tonnage from 3.2 million tons per annum to 5.2 million tons per annum, thus increasing the copper concentrate production by approximately 50%. In addition to that, we have also granted the expansion of Khoemacau late last year in December 2024. And we are anticipating that they too will grow their production by over 50%. Now, these are areas of growth, but because they are not as large as what we have experienced with the diamond industry, we feel like there is a complete contraction of the mining sector. But we are well aware that there are areas of growth, areas of positivity that we should actually look to for progress and the future of this industry. While we celebrate these good areas of growth, there are also other areas that are challenging, particularly in the coal space. And I, of course, cannot end talking about the performance of the industry without mentioning what's happening with the Maniji Coal project. And the government took great interest in what is happening in Maniji and decided to convert our debt into equity, hoping to re-inject some level of capital and vigor back into the company. But the reality of the matter is coal is only trading at approximately $90 per ton. And for this mine to be profitable, we need for the price to be well over $200. And as a result, it has been recommended that in order for this company to do well, it needs a power plant. And we are looking at all the solutions that can be put together to ensure that this company does not go underground, belly up. Because underground in the mining industry means something else. It's interesting trying to balance economic and mining language. But these are areas we are showing that we are alive to the challenges, but also to the progress that is happening in the mining industry. So over and above just what is happening in mining itself, we see the opportunities between mining and energy. And that is why earlier this year, we announced that we will be bringing online 1.5 gigawatts of renewable energy. And this is not only to meet our domestic demand, but it's because there is a demand from our companies to work towards carbon neutrality. And they see the opportunity in the renewable energy space. And we recently championed the first transaction of our renewable energy certificates with Botswana in an aim of making sure that our diamonds get to carbon neutrality by 2030. But we understand that other minerals are requiring the same. Copper, the copper companies have talked to us about this. Silver, because some of them do copper and silver. Nickel has also talked to us about this. So we anticipate this intersection between energy and mining to grow and for us to really move towards progressing both access to energy in Botswana, carbon neutrality for our mines, and expansion of the mines in Botswana. And as it pertains to the regulatory environment, we have been tasked with finding opportunities of growth for the industry, where we can ensure, certainly, that we are not only facilitating the industry, but we are championing the next places of growth. And we are expecting that with the implementation of the changes, the revisions that were made to the Mines and Minerals Act, we will start to stimulate more citizen participation in this space, mainly because we are increasing a percentage stake by government from the current 15% to 24% where government chooses to take a stake. But over and above that, we are also saying that this stake can be passed on to Botswana and citizen-owned companies where government chooses not to participate. We are ring-fencing the mine closure fund because we are learning from experience. We are now left with the burden of financing the liquidation of BCL and of financing its rehabilitation. And we want to ensure that this does not remain the sole responsibility of government going forward. We will increase some penalties for illegal mining because we are seeing the rise of illegal mining in the country, particularly in the northeastern side of this country for gold deposits. Effective implementation of beneficiation and the reduction of mine to ports of our raw materials is very critical and very key to what we will be working on. And I know the President mentioned it in some form a few months ago, but our intention is to ensure that we capture as much value domestically as we can with our partners as we continue to export to the biggest markets. And in order for us to do that, we have announced previously that we intend to establish a value chain CEP and supplier development program within the ministry. We want to ensure that beneficiation happens not only in the diamond industry, but across the other minerals. And we will be working with our partners to ensure that there are some refineries built in Botswana and that we are getting some level of concentrates out of our minerals before they are exported. Over and above that, we are committed to ensuring that after 50 years of being a mining industry, a mining country, that we have the development of industry associated with mining here in Botswana. And that is why we are looking at local content within mining and working with yourselves to ensure that you are encouraging your suppliers to set up here in Botswana, but also for Botswana and other citizen and Botswana-based companies to work to supplying within the value chain. This is a very crucial development because it will not only bring jobs, it will bring the investment that Mr. Kells was talking about earlier. Now, we can also talk about all the work that is happening in the energy sector. The presentation from Jindal, another 600 megawatts, the 1.5 gigawatts that I mentioned, all these are the developments that we're making to ensure that the industry is sustainable and the industry continues to grow. I know this is quite a bit, but I believe that people need to hear that the government is working tirelessly with yourselves, with partners, to ensure that there is growth in the different spaces of our economy, particularly in the mining sector, and that it is not all doom and gloom, and certainly we should appreciate these green buds of development. Master of Ceremony, as I come to a close, I want to implore all of us to champion the development that is needed in this industry. I want to implore all of us to ensure that we are spotlighting the positivity that we are bringing to the industry, that we are attracting more investment into this industry, and that we are piloting and championing local content in our sector. The mining sector needs to be the anchor of our economic cluster, and it is entirely up to us how we do that and if we ensure its success. Our ambitions go beyond recovery. We are positioning Botswana as the premium brand in mining, not only in diamonds. We believe that we have a good story of governance, of equitable partnerships, of stability and reliability, of using our natural resources for national development. This is the strongest case study there is in the mining world of development and of growth. And only we can continue to champion it to ensure its sustainability and longevity. And with that, I declare this Future of Mining Summit officially opened, and I wish you all good deliberations. Thank you.